Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, the Netherlands edition, where today we are gonna do something very interesting. Now, before I get onto exactly what we're gonna be doing, it could be gearing us up directly for implementing airports within our network. That in itself is kind of going to be a bit wild, but I want to experiment with something today. It might stay, I might remove it. I don't know, because I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, because I'm yet to do it. But we're looking at our brand new trams that we implemented in the last episode. Things are running smoothly right now. There's still a little bit of traffic here, there, and everywhere, because some of the cities still need more connections. And what I mean by that is, last episode, we added in brand new bus routes and tram loops around the kind of the greater area of the cities to pick more people up to bring them to the train line. And it has solved the traffic in the areas which I've done it. Between Den Haag and Leiden right now, we had a lot of traffic issues. It has now completely gone because we now have public transport implemented. And we kind of need to do the same thing for these three cities here. These three cities here have stupendous amounts of traffic, which we need to kind of create a nice tri-city system that kind of then integrates our own network between all three of them to reduce people using vehicles. Because if they arrive by train here, they can't really get over here, and vice versa, ride by train there. If you want to get from there to there, you got to drive. There's no way for you to get on public transport, which is why I want to test something in today's episode. Now, you're probably going to hate this, right? So let me do some explaining. I eventually want to build an airport, okay, which would be great. And I think having a central location airport here would be probably a good idea. I'll probably end up moving it somewhere else. I don't know. But let's just say, hypothetically, I put a central located airport here, which then would mean I would need a few connections coming from a few areas which kind of crisscross, terminate, slice and dice the airport for mass connections. That airport will then fly over to, let's say, over here, for example, over the water to the network over there. Let's just say, hypothetically, it's going to go in many different places, but this is going to be our main airport. Now, we need lines to get over here. Now, we've already implemented a bunch of lines anyway, so to add on, say, a line from Amsterdam for trains, because obviously that will carry the bulk amount of people, would be a bit difficult, because it means that I have to come out here, and then maybe turn to go in, which is not a problem, and then come down here, passing through Haarlem, then turning to come in. Like I said, it's not really a mass problem, but what if I could use these new lines to connect up cities that are not currently connected to one another, thus bypassing a lot of the traffic problems and moving more passengers? I'm probably waffling right now. Get it, waffle? No, I'm stroop waffling right now. Right, Sadiak, you're banned. I'm thinking elevated train lines. Now, you're probably going to go, Sadiak, no, do not do it, but hear me out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to utilize this tri-city area here to implement our first elevated train lines. And think of it as a simplistic inner city mode of transport. Now, what I could do is I could set one up that goes across this train station here, running down. I could have another stop there, and then it splits into two directions, one going to Amersfoort, one going to Hilversum. Then all of a sudden, this area now has connectivity. We'll obviously add little buses around and whatnot, but then that now links us on to being able to expand further and further. And it then means I haven't got to rely on what space I've got on the ground, because I can make my own space in the sky. And then if it works, right, I know I'm yapping right now, what it could then mean is I could run an elevated line from Rotterdam to Amsterdam, crossing the airport in the middle. Right, anyway, let's just see if this is going to work or not. So, what does this entail, and why is it going to be quite a big job? Well, elevated train lines can be a pain to build, and it also means that there's a potential that you're going to destroy some of the buildings, okay? Let's not beat around the bush. That's pretty much what is going to happen. So we need to control this. Now, if I go to my train lines here and then go to buildings, we have the ability to build elevated passenger stations. Now, you can't do cargo elevated. It's only passenger. Now, if I set it up with... Do I do 4? Is 4 going to be too much? I'm not sure if 4 is going to be too much right now. It's probably going to be too much. I mean, sticking 2 down is still pretty wild. But it allows me to kind of run the train line through. Now, if I was to put this, for example, here. Now, actually, before I do anything, all right, let me just make sure I got everything all set up. We'll do high speed. I don't know why, but we'll do high speed. I won't have any pillars. We'll utilize the elevators as being the pillar situations. And in terms of height, is 25 okay? I think 25 is going to be completely fine. So this is going to be random right now, but let me just place this down here. Voila. Voila. And then we'll have to make sure that the connections, which actually, looking at this is not actually going to be able to do connections. I need to make sure the ground connections are in place so that we are able to have passengers get up and get down and then be able to connect to this train station below. So I think I might have to put it about there. I know it's deleted that building, but please bear with me. Bear with me right now. Now, I don't know if I want to focus on doing this first before finding out it's not going to work. But we place down the elevators. Now, there's 2 versions of elevators. One goes under, one goes in front. Now, the ones in front are important for us because they create our connection to the road. And now, all of a sudden, I think that's okay. I think it automatically connects anyway. But all of a sudden, the elevated train line is connected to the train line down below. And the bottom train line is connected to the one above. So let me implement the same here. One there, one there. Connect you in. Connect you in. There's connections no matter where you go. I'm a bit annoyed with this one here, not fully connecting, but it's okay. It's not going to make me lose sleep at night. Now, what I need to do is run a train line going through all here, trying not to damage the buildings, but also keeping it elevated on the road. Now, that is going to be difficult because instantly the train line is going to want to snap to the road. So, unfortunately, some of these buildings might slightly get oofed a little bit. Just a little bit, boys. Just a little bit. But I'm wondering if I can maybe integrate, maybe not as long, because here, what we would want to eventually then have, if I keep this and smack this bang down, let's just say there. Now, I know it's deleting buildings, but they will grow back. Don't worry, don't worry. Implement, and I might go for the inner ones now if they work. No. And can I do it where... Yeah, so you can see the line there. As long as the line's there, ooh, then we're connected. All right, that one works. That one works. I don't have the ability to get one on this side, I think, because that's how the road bends. But I put one there just to compensate for the structure. Right, that is now all connected. So that will be my secondary one. So that mainly reaches this region there, but it's the final station before it splits into 2 directions. Which now, looking at it, I don't think would be a great idea. Because if it's there, where do I want this one to run? Is it going to go this way? I kind of want it to overpass the train line and maybe run up as well. Which that would have to go for some form of dramatic bend. So it will come across there. It will turn. And then turn again. No, do you know what? It could actually work. It could actually work. But I'm thinking way ahead of myself right now because this might not work. So if I get the train tracks, and let's just say hypothetically I just ran it straight, I only lose 1 building. No, 2 buildings. Right, okay. Do it again. That's just on that line anyway. Do it again. Oh, hello. Right, I've managed to do it only because there was a station at the other end. Without that, that would have been super difficult. Right. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Soniac, this is a monstrosity. Please stop. Please stop right now. No, I'm not going to. Right, here I go. And we're doing my crisscross here. Now, I've got to get these in because we need the trains to be able to switch platforms. Unless I just allowed them to run on one side of the tracks the whole time, going in both directions. But hey ho. There's enough room there for signals to have a train stop and start. Right. This is wild. Right, let me try and implement the same thing here. So, the reason I'm going for bigger stations over the current stations is because technically this is where we'll see the most amount of foot traffic, because they are switching from the line below. So if I implemented, and I gotta see if I can get this perfect as well, you here, which is, like I said, easier said than done. So bam, there. And try and get this one in now. So can't get you on that side, but you're a little bit far over. So I think I need to move it over just a tad bit more. Annoying thing is, I've got to delete the whole thing and then reposition it and then hope that I've got it right this time. This is the only difficult part of all of this. Right, that don't work, but now we don't work on this side, but we can't get a section to go anywhere now at this point. Oh my goodness me, it's all systems go. See, I told you guys, it can be very, very difficult. Now, I'm wondering if it might be an idea to... Right, let me try there. Push it over a bit more, maybe. That works there. Can't get you in there, but maybe one is better than none. So if that went there, and then we could have you here, but does this create the connection? It does. Now, while it might not look perfect, and we've only got one support on the other side, it still does the job it needs to do. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right, we'll go for the smaller one here. And let's pray that I can now get this to work as well. So I could get one there. I just can't get on this side. So I'm not over enough. How over am I here? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be over enough to kind of even get a connection on this. I mean, I don't have to have a connection both sides. I could have this really awkward looking overhang. Right, did that connect, by the way? Yeah, it did. It did. It did. I've got this very unique style L bracket, which creates my big overpass, which is amazing. Okay, I actually kind of like that in a weird way. And that gives us a radius here. So let me now connect these both up and praying that this goes as well as the other one, which it does. So I've managed to implement... What I've managed to do, guys, is implement a train line through the town, through the city, without destroying many of the buildings. Now, obviously, it will cause a bunch of emission problems. But I'm not living there. Are you guys living there? Because I'm not living there. Not in my back garden, as they say. Right, there we go. So them are now both implemented. Now, this is where my issue now kind of lies with all of this. It's the connecting you to their sitch, okay? Now, I do want it to run into here, which will kind of bend around, and this is going to be wild itself as well. So we need a station going across there, which could eventually lead as the connection over to Elmere, right? But I've got to now try and implement a bend on the line. So I'm thinking the train station needs to go somewhat here. And I'm just kind of placing these down now for the fun of it. And you would go here. Right, I've just placed those down without even seeing if this is going to work or not. So you can't go there, but no, you can't go there. can't get a connection there, but I can't even get a connection there. Right, what if I go for the inner ones? Inner ones, no. No, no, no. Right, I've got to delete that, see? Told you, boys. Easier said than done. Now, I've learned owl brackets seem to work pretty well. So let's have owl brackets on our mind, okay? So that will go there. That would go there, but does it create... Yes, it creates our connection. I'm not going to delete. It already has our connection there anyway. The owl bracket is owl bracketing for us right now. So, can this work? Right, we've got you there. And I'll go you there. So they work for us. We're owl bracketing again, guys. It's a new term. Okay, it's a new term we're using right now. And can this... Ooh. See, this is my issue, is you've got to be real careful. So if I brought that to there... and then take that in. I'm trying to destroy as little buildings as I can. Oh, that's perfect. Sometimes, guys, I can't believe how much of a genius I am. I actually can't. Right, get you in. And you there. Oh my goodness me. Guys, it's okay to admit it right now. You are so impressed. You are so impressed right now. You can't believe what you're watching. This is absolute genius unfolding right in front of your eyes. Weirdly, this is going to look pretty good. Now, the downside is it kind of then limits us. Vanderdow, you're kind of stuck. Now, I could also bend this to go across there and in, but that's not... I don't know how that's going to look. But where's the end goal for this? Maybe that then kind of merges into the train line here to continue down. That's a good way in which we can kind of look at it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But what I want to do next is, what does a complete connection here look like? Okay, not what I'm after. But I'm going to go to here. Actually, how far can I take it? I'm going to bring it to there, but I should be able to delete a chunk of it, which I can. And bringing you up. So that will delete some buildings, wouldn't it? Right, I'm trying to do it without deleting stuff. It's very difficult. Especially when the thing wants to keep rising upwards. Oh my goodness me, look at the height difference on that. Oh, I can delete segments and run them back to normal. It's not a problem. But that's a problem, though. Right, there we go. It's as good as. It's as good as, guys. Now, that runs in that direction, and that's brilliant. I'm now very, very confused about what we are trying to attempt here. Now, like I said, I've got to turn this in. And I kind of originally wanted it to be a, like, turn off there. But that is going to be such a tight bend right now, isn't it? So, let me implement my crissy-cross, because we're going to need that no matter what anyway. Or would we? I mean, technically, if we're going to do, like, a line going back and forth, we'll only need the crissy-cross on the end platform. Because everybody else is fixated in their own routes. So I wouldn't need them here, only at the end. Theoretically, anyway, because I'm not having any other lines going back and forth. Like, you know, if they all use the same end station, then we're all good. Which means this bend can happen a little bit sooner, which now might not be as bad, but this is the issue. So first but foremost, let's just make sure we are remaining elevated. And we run this a little bit straight first, but let me see where this bends outwards. So if I was to pick, for example, you, like that. But can we also... Okay, we still can have this here. Right, this is the bit where I'm like... I mean, the whole thing I'm like, I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I'm not sure. But if there's one thing I'm definitely not sure of right now is this line. Right, that's on the inner. That's on our outer. I'll probably have to end up deleting a chunk of this. And... running you to there. And how does that look? Because I can eventually see the cities growing a bit more and expanding a bit more, obviously. But do we agree that that maybe might be a bit weird? Or do you reckon that will be fine? This is the bit I struggle with. Now, is it also possible to... Right, this has now changed the game slightly for me. This might have now slightly changed the game. Am I having a route that goes from this way directly to there as well? So 3 individual train lines. Because if you want to go from there to there, you're going to have to transfer there. Otherwise, you could also do a straight run. Right. That's changed everything for me now. I'm sorry, but it's now all being deleted. Oh, no! I've deleted the road. I've deleted a road. I've deleted a road again. How is it so easy to delete roads below me? Oh, good God, Sediak. What are you doing? What are you actually doing? Someone stop this, man. I don't know where the other road was. I was going to put it there. This has gone downhill so bad. Right. Bending in. See, that doesn't look too shabby now. So as to bring this out, granted it's got to be slightly up. And to there. And let me do the outer side. Right, very small bend. Very small bend right now. And then here. Very small bends. Very small bends going on here. Right, it's so small. I can't even form a connection. No! Oh, it just moves so quickly. Damn it. Right, there we go. Please be okay. Right, I'm going to go to there with that. Ta-da! Look at me go, look at me go. It's almost like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. Right, let's get signals now involved. So, all I got to do with the signals is just make sure that they are set up beautifully to allow us to have a multitude of trains stopping and starting and waiting for the next one to move. Right, that's... Oh, no. Right, that will now not delete. There we go. So that solves that area. We'll just do this one real quick. Put one there. I know they stop at this station anyway and wait, but I want to make sure that I can get a multiple lining up. Right, there we go. Bam. Bam, bam. Bam there. Well, bam there. Bam, bam. Right, very simple, very basic. But let's just see how this is now going to work. So, we could now set up 3 lines, which is great. I am questioning why I made it kind of go this way across. I think it's more because of the actual station there. Easier to implement. But maybe running through this way probably would have been better because I could have turned to go down to there. But it is what it is. Maybe it's something that we can kind of change in the future. Okay, maybe it is something we can change in the future. But I could also allow this to kind of continue to run through Venadale all the way down to Arnhem. And then we just have the odd little connection that comes off and then skedaddles wherever it may go. That's the beauty of these small little Y junctions on these elevated metro lines, subway lines, train lines. I don't know what we call them at this point. What would we call this? The metro? I don't know, guys. What would we call it right now? Let me know in the comment section down below. But it has the ability to kind of continue to extend. Now, great thing about it is this station here, you can see the radius at which it reaches. This station, the radius in which it reaches. There's like a little triangle there and a triangle there, which we don't reach. But we'll still implement a local bus route that does a loop going around it, both directions, just to maximize the coverage and the movement of passengers. So let's first implement the train lines then. Let's get these up and running. So we'll do a new line. And we'll go 1. And make sure I got in the right station here. 2, 3, 4. And then back again. And let me make sure that this is pink. There we go. So for some reason, it hasn't switched over, even though we've got the signals implemented. So as soon as... which side is it on, by the way? So, fine. It gets down to the sidings here, and then going back, that's got to be 2. That's got to be 2. Because the sidings thing here can use both. Upper Amsfort can use both. Yeah, that's it. That's literally all it needs to do. So another new line. And we'll go bam, 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 bam. Now I'm going to assume it's doing the same thing here. So the first one, it can use both. What's the last one called there? The annex. There we go. Can use both. Oh, no, cancel. Bam, bam. We're all good. Another new line. Alright, make sure we've got all you situated. So, use both. And the last one's called the upper. Use both. And then the 2 after that. Oh, no, wrong one. Bam. Bam. Yes. So I haven't named them yet. That's something I'm going to have to do shortly. But we are done. Now, I do need to connect up a a depot. So I'm going to do it moving forward this way. So let me bring that over. And let me also bring this coming down as well. Because you just never know. You just never know. So buildings, spin you right round, boys. Spin you right round. and then buy some trains. So we're only going to buy one. I don't know whether to go electric now, or should I go like multi-unit electric? What we got here, we got the Metro Liner. Carries 78. That could be a good thing. It's very expensive though. Like super expensive. So we would probably end up losing money on that. What about the Cypher? Oh! See, that carries 52. 1.2 million a year. Let's go with these to begin with, okay? Let's buy 3 of them. Now, these are obviously not going to be enough capacity. But at least we start getting the lines moving about to begin with. So 1 on each line. I mean, the year is 1974, so you can't expect the world right now. It is diesel, so it will cause a lot of pollutings. But it'll be interesting to see how things now unfold. Because the Tri-City area here that we've got is very jam-packed. Now, obviously, not all the traffic wants to go to these. It could be traffic from Amersfoort wanting to go to Warden, and that's why it's obviously causing more problems. But this takes away a big chunk of the traffic, which is amazing. Now, we are... Are we got anyone waiting yet? I think we're a bit too early yet to see if anyone's waiting. We need to sort out the other forms of public transport leading around the area. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finalize some of the road networks with the loops going around, just to maximize the coverage of what I'm able to do. Alright, let me push this one further because I don't think that wants to connect very well. Right, I've took ownership off anyway, so it's nothing to do with me. And do I do a road connection there? I mean, it can go there. And I think that's all I'm going to do for Amersfoort right there anyway. Now, do I do trams or do I do buses? Trams will be good, but I'm only going to keep it local to this area. So I still think we can get away with buses solely because of these extra 2 stops right now, giving us a wider radius. They're more likely to walk there. So buses aren't going to be 100% trams aren't going to be 100% needed for the capacity, but maybe buses will. So if I do the bus and tram stop then, and we'll start here. And then we'll go down and have a stop just there. So I'm doing an outer loop is what I'm doing. We'll do one there and there. I'm going to extend these 2 roads as well. Extend them to there. And then I'll do bam and bam. Bam and bam. And then bam and bam. So I don't got to worry about the inner side because the inner section is mainly connected up via the train line anyway. So that kind of covers my back in that regards. And then the streets will bring these running down. Alright, this is a very gridded city, isn't it? Amersfoort, you're very gridded right now. And you're locked in via rail lines as well. So, let's now place down the road depot, which I'll put the road depot... Where should I put the road depot? Maybe, I mean, I don't want it to have to go through the traffic. If I'm honest with you, I'm going to pull it over here. So, by vehicles, we need passenger, buses, and that carries 16. That carries 25. We're going to go for them. So I'll buy 6, 3 in both directions. Which for us is... Where's the lines? Oh, I haven't created the lines, that's why. That's why there's no lines. Right, let's go this way first. And another new line. I'm not sure if I selected all the bus routes in that first one. Have I just gone the same direction around? Am I an idiot? Don't answer that question. Don't answer that question. Right, there we go. The other one. Yeah, it did. I thought I missed out this one here, which I didn't. Right. The first 3 on line 4. The next 3 on line 5. So that makes Amma's fruit right now a bit more connected is the main goal there. A bit more connected. Now, I'll go fast forward mode anyway, so we can just kind of, you know, get the lines all situated a bit more. And let's do Hilversum next. So, Hilversum's an interesting place, if I'm being completely honest with you. Can we implement a bend here? No. I mean, do I want another bend? I don't particularly. I think we'll be okay. Right, let's do the same here then with the buses. And we'll start there and there with the stops. We'll then go up to... Let's just go here and here. I'll then run up from here and here. We'll then go there and there. I'm thinking of outer radiuses. We'll go there and there, because that also crisscrosses with another stop. There and there. We'll come down to here and here. And then we'll do one in the center there and there. Right, not as perfect as a loop as Amma's fruit or fort. And create a new line. So we'll go to the right first. There we go. And then another new line, and we'll go to the left. And fingers crossed that has done what I needed to do, which it has. So do I buy the vehicle from over here? Yes, it's only a short drive this way down the little kind of highway style road that we've got. I'll use the same buses because it's all about capacity at the minute, and we'll do 3 in both directions. So, loop 6 and loop 7. Right, they've got a bus route. Let's just finalize the bus line here. And again, we should be okay, but there's maybe 1 or 2 roads I just want to double check on. We've got an issue already. Now, what's your issue? Whoa. Oh, I didn't make sure that they're on the same side in the same direction. Right, I didn't I didn't kind of think that one through, did I? Right. So, the branch here, we're going to make it where... Oh, how am I going to sort this one out? Right, so coming from the sidings, they've got to be on the right side, don't they? Yeah. Right, let me make this one yellow. So that's on the correct side, so that line is fine. Yellow. Okay, it's this line here. So the Utrecht one, I can never say that name right. 2, 1. But then that will mean that the Hilversum branch is then incorrect. That now sorts it all out, but this train has to now go in the opposite direction. Right, it was just that train on the wrong side is what the issue was there. Right, we should be fine now, boys. Oh no, hang on, hold on. That train's also on the wrong side as well. Right, that line 3. Hilversum branch. Bam. Bam. Amersfoort branch. Bam. Bam. Which means that that train technically is going the wrong way. Right, that's one thing I didn't realise. But hopefully, we're back in business. Right. Come on, Seniac. What are you doing right now? What are you doing, sir? Right, bring you down to there. That's as far as I'm going to go with the little bussy loop. Right, so We'll place a stop here and here. We'll go this way and have... Oh, hello. Have another stop there and there. We'll do one there and there. I'll do one here and here. We'll come in down to there and there. There and there. Because the stations already do the main jobs for us. There and there. There and there. And then there and there. So them two on the junction there does give us a radius slightly over there. But all these guys can go to the train station anyway. So my buses don't have to do the hard job they would normally have to do in other cities. Because they've got now all these stations to choose from, and all the stations do create connectivity. Right, that's all in that direction, right? No, I'm missing one, so after 6, I've got to add that one in. There we go. New line, so bam, go in this direction now. There we go. Bam, that's set up in that direction. Oh, we got a new bus as well available. Oh, no. See, now this might be an issue for us because now we might have better buses. We've got new planes coming through. I'm going to put you over there, just slightly out the way. So these new buses, I bet you they are as good... Oh, no, they're not. Okay, this is still the better capacity. It's probably not the best bus, but it's still the biggest capacity at the moment. And at the minute, I'm just focusing it on capacity. So line 8 and then line 9. Right, so they've now all of a sudden not only got these bus loops going around to collect more people, but they've got a dedicated train line going through the area. Now, does that mean that we'll start seeing the traffic disappearing? Well, it does look a little bit more free-flowy, the traffic. There is a lot of traffic, don't get me wrong, and I'm wondering if it will then eventually start dying down. Because we have all these, you know, transportation options. Now, it will take a while before it does die down because some people are already in the traffic. But I can already tell you right now, if that's the back end of it right now, it's dying down. We have solved the traffic issues with a very, very extreme circumstance. Like, it's very extreme. Like, I've literally implemented elevated train lines. What am I even thinking of doing here, boys? But I think it's pretty cool, though. It is an interesting way to kind of approach it and give us alternative options and routes. Now, it is now growing this city a bit more. It's about to go for a huge growth spurt because of what we've done. Amersfoort, you're going through a growth spurt as well. It's got the up arrow, which is amazing. And Hilversum, you're the same as that. So all three of those towns are going through big growth spurts. More public transportation connections, the better. The better. Now, can't tell you if these lines are going to make a profit or not. They are really short distances. But what I can tell you is, though, the vehicle traffic is fastly disappearing. Very, very quickly disappearing right now. Now, I know guys, I'm going to be real with you right now. The traffic is disappearing. Like, we have completely solved the issues. It's a genius. Okay, I'm not really a genius, but you see how it is. You see how it is right now. So, this is my little test run anyway of seeing what could potentially work on a bigger scale in this area, which ultimately brings them to an airport. You see where I'm going with this? That was the idea behind it. And this was my test run. Now, is there lots of people waiting? Depends on which station you're looking at, right? This one down below, there's a lot of people waiting for a different line. There's a few people waiting up here for line 2. The trains will eventually get bigger. I'm thinking dual stocks eventually. But they're very expensive. They're very expensive. Vehicle traffic anyway. Now, if the vehicle traffic dies down, I then gain 20% growth. You know what I mean? That's the other side of it as well. If you get rid of the traffic, you get rid of the negative, the negativity on it, which then creates more growth because you get it back. So these are the next few vehicles driving through. They do have the painstaking task of having to keep stopping and starting because of the crossroads. It's just, it is what it is. The game has to, like, you know, figure out if the vehicle can cross, and then sometimes they brake check the car behind. But they're now slowly getting through. No backlog. The backlog coming out of here is completely gone. So it's just this initial backlog right now, which is going back and forth to get to Venadale. Now, I'm thinking we give Venadale, obviously, an alternative option in terms of routing. So we'll also build an additional road. So if I bring you parallel there, which will allow me to go parallel here. We delete the first road. And we then, this should ultimately just kind of kick in. Which I think that might be two, is that 2 over? Yeah, that's actually 2 over. I didn't realize that. Right, we'll keep it because it is better for us because it creates the junction a little bit further from the rail line. But it's still, you know, creating a junction on the rail line. Bringing you down like this. What that allows you to then do is run a road directly through it all. And where would that run? Oh, why are you so bendy? Right, 2 junctions there. It means we can then skip having to go through Amersfoort from here to here. Just an alternative option for them. I don't know how many of them will use it. I could maybe even upgrade that road to a higher speed road to kind of, you know, entice them a little bit more. Could potentially work out. And also maybe bending these to go through as well. So if I was, for example, to create a connection coming off there, create a connection coming off there, and let's say a connection coming off there. Is that now too many junctions? What we're saying, is that too many junctions at this point? And then do some bendy wendies. All leading down to that road, which is probably not the best idea because it has to kind of, you know, cross over all the train tracks. But it gives them an alternative route. Maybe that could be turned into a highway. See, now you're talking. Now you're talking, boys. And there's already vehicles making their way down, which might then alleviate the pressures around here a bit more, giving them an alternative route. Right, vehicle traffic is now gone around this area. Perfect. Solved it all, boys. Solved it all right now. And we've just got this last little bit here. They're mainly getting caught up on the fact that, you know, trains, when they stop at the station, they go over the crisscross here. I could get rid of that crisscross and then maybe then focus on them going through that one over there. Maybe we build an underpass. These are all strong options. These are all strong options. But as time goes on, we are going to have alternative options here for these guys, which is going to reduce all of this. So it could work out in the long run. And we'll have no problems over there whatsoever. To be honest with you guys, I think we're pretty much all good right now. I think we are. I think we're going to be completely fine. So, would we expand this further? Probably yes. I could maybe allow this to kind of go up to Warden and then to Leiden and to Den Haag via having a station at the airport that I build. This one obviously be the one that kind of runs up into Amsterdam. Maybe then crosses over, or it could just run all the way up to, say, Zandvoort, crossing over, you know, and all that kind of jazz. That's a possibility. Maybe have it stop there, and then have the line that comes from Rotterdam cross over that to then be the one that connects up to Amsterdam. So there's ways in which we can kind of layer the infrastructure. I really wish we could. If I could. And if I had one wish right now, I would love there to be subways where we can build underground lines. Because I wouldn't have this elevated. I would then have this underground, and then it won't look such a monstrosity, and then it might be more pleasing and more... Okay, right. Would you agree? If you're someone right now who does not like what I've just done, would it change your mind if this whole system was underground as a subway system? I think most people would say yes, because it doesn't look as visually bad. But there we go. He'd done it. He'd done it, and he's almost solved the traffic. He's almost solved the traffic, boys. There's only a few more vehicles now remaining. Just a few. Can't make the game go any faster than it is right now. But just a few remain. Amazing. Because they're now utilizing this road here. Wow. Which could eventually lead all the way down to Rotterdam. You know what I mean? Maybe to Ridderkerk as well. Do a little bridge going over. Bypassing the cities with Sediak. See, it works out. Works out well. Right, it's just that little bit of backlog there, and then we're all done. So, just gotta wait for a train to disappear. Few vehicles can cross before that one's let loose, which is about to go. That junction's now going to clear once these last few vehicles have gone. And now there's freedom, baby. And just like that, the traffic on that road is gone. Ta-da! Right, are these lines actually making any cash whatsoever? I haven't named them yet. So, finances, wow, it's turning a profit. Line 1's turning a profit. Line 3 is turning a profit. And then, of course, line 2 is turning a profit. Such a short distance, they're making... No, it's minimal pennies, don't get me wrong. It's minimal pennies. But they are making a profit. Now, the bus lines in question, I don't think they've been going around long enough. Especially that one, anyway. I don't think these will make a profit because they're so integrated. The train line's so integrated already. I don't think not much is really going to happen. But it's just a bit of a backup. I don't mind losing money on those lines just to create some type of support for the network. Gonna need more trains. So those 3 lines, which I'm still yet to name. Line 1, line 2, line 3. We're going to duplicate a second train on each line. Increase the rate and also increase the capacity. That's the important thing for us there. And then we're on it, boys. We are on it right now. There we go. I'll let you guys decide what you think of it in the comment section down below. But it's a window into the future when we implement airplanes. Where are these airplanes going to fly to? I actually don't know yet. I've got to figure that one out. But until next time, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.